What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day related video, and this one is all about Mike once again. But yesterday I made a video about Mike's friend who made a video talking about Mike and him in a situation. But you know, in life there's this saying, sometimes it's better to just not say anything at all. Because sometimes it's better to just keep your mouth shut, especially if you end up saying more than you were supposed to or more than you need to. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since that video yesterday, Mike's friend decided to take to the comment section to let it be known how he feels, if you dig what I'm saying, which therefore, in my opinion, he then basically exposed Mike in a certain way, and I don't think he even realized it. But with that being said though, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the freaking channel. Now let's head into how this all began. So yesterday, after the video was dropped by myself in particular, Famous Last Words, as you can see, he decided to post this comment here. Now, obviously, within the comment itself alone, I decided to respond by saying his friend just wants attention because he's just like Mike, pathetic. Because at the end of the day, Mike is 100% legit pathetic. But his friend didn't like that, so he decided to basically respond to me within that comment thread itself alone, and this is what he had to say to begin with before it really escalated, if you dig what I'm saying. He obviously responds by saying, I am, obviously relating to the fact I called him pathetic and saying that obviously, you know, he's the same as Mike, but proceeds by saying, instead of making assumptions about me, you could just, you know, ask me, but since you know me so well, then tell me about myself. And of course, we find for me being me, I was like, listen, I'm not even gonna entertain this. And realistically, I should have never responded, but sometimes I just can't help myself. So I decided to be polite and end the conversation by saying, you are an amazing human being. But ladies and gentlemen, that comment seemed to have got underneath his skin to a certain degree, or maybe I was already under his skin and he just felt the need to want to justify himself, as well as, most importantly, justify Michael's, or is it Michael? Anyway, Mike's baby behavior, if you dig what I'm saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's head over into the next comments, and this is where it gets very, very, very interesting. So, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, he came out by saying, how am I just like Mike? I knew months ago about the series, just watching it. If he did these things, me and him can't be friends. But behind the scenes, I see how this is affecting him mentally too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you know that this is affecting him mentally behind the scenes, then why would you come out to then make a video about the situation that involves Mike and him and I? And most importantly, if he knows this is affecting Mike behind the scenes, that means he's in conversation with them. But if you remember from yesterday's video, ladies and gentlemen, he made it seem as if he hadn't actually been in contact with Mike for a good while, because if he had, then that means his video would have had more strength behind it. He could have been like, listen, I've had a conversation with Mike, and what you guys are seeing, trust me when I tell you, it is not true, because Mike has told me exactly how it went down, and this is how it went down. But instead, everything that he said was literally based on assumptions of him knowing Mike since they were in middle school, I believe he said. So that there already exposes that when he made his own video, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, to be honest. I mean, we know he didn't know what he was talking about, because he was talking about how, I'm surprised Mike has done this. This isn't the Mike that I know. This doesn't make sense. Mike must fight it. He must fight. He must get justice for himself, because this is not the man that I've known all these years. But yet you haven't even had a conversation with them, but yet you want to make a video about it. Isn't that fascinating, considering that a second ago, he just told me to contact him if I want to know anything about him. Some people, you know, they can say things, but they can't actually do it themselves. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it only gets worse, and this is where he really starts to expose things without even realizing it, because at this moment in time, he is just ranting, shall I say. Yes. So, I mean, the next comment is kind of irrelevant. I don't know why he decided to let us know that Burke was not his last name, but I know, who cares? Nonetheless, though, if you go into the last one, this is where it gets a bit juicy. He says, the post where he allegedly said the N-word seemed to have not have the hard ER. Did it not? Wait, hold on a minute. Is he telling us that because Mike had memes posted on his Instagram that did not have The hard ER, he must have never been racist. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. For me, myself in particular, it doesn't matter whether the N-word has the ER or has the A. It is racist no matter what. In fact, for myself in particular, you will never ever hear me say the N-word ever, because I personally believe, well, no, I factually believe that no one should ever be saying that word no matter what race you are, because at the end of the day, it is a contradictive word. Why live in a world where you're going to say a word that I can say because of my skin color, but you can't say it because your skin color, and when I say it, it means black, it means welcome, it means all these lovely, pretty things, even though the word itself has a very dark history that we love to use as an excuse whenever something happens. It's interesting, isn't it, how black people work sometimes, right? We can use a race card at any given moment, but then we can also use one of the most racist words of all time that basically put us in a position that we was in for so many freaking years. But when we use it, it's okay. But then when the white person uses it, oh no, you can't use it, man. You're bringing back the trauma of all the other people that went through it, but I never went through, but now I disrespect them by actually saying the word. Oh my goodness gracious me. You gotta love the human race, right? The contradiction behind the human race. But then again, life is a walking contradiction. Let's be real. We can't change our mind. But nonetheless, though, the point of the matter is, for me personally, it doesn't matter what race you are, and it doesn't matter whether you use the hard ER or the A. You shouldn't be using it anyway. There is no justifying it point blank, period. And if we want to talk about it more on the society based of how it works, where black people can say it and white people can't say it, well, as far as I'm concerned, if you're white, you can't say it regardless whether it is the A or the hard ER anyway. It won't make a bloody difference based on society. So how he's trying to justify that is interesting. But most importantly, this is him now basically confirming that Mike 100% has been saying the N-word throughout his life at some point whenever he's had a chance to say it. And the reason I say that is because the next part of the comment says this. Now should he have said it? No. But where we grew up was predominantly black community and mostly everyone said it. Would I say it? No. Actually, let me just stop it right there. So basically he confirms that they grew up in a black neighborhood where everybody said it pretty much. And clearly he's basically saying that Mike posts those things because he grew up saying it himself. Now, whether he said it in a racist way or a non-racist way, what difference does it make? It still shouldn't be said anyway, right? Especially if you're white based on society, if you dig what I'm saying. Even though technically white people actually own that word, but they're the ones that actually create that freaking word. But hey, life goes on, times change, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's basically coming to say, yes, we've been saying it. The fact that he tried to cover it up by saying, but would I say it? No. If you're Mike's friend and Mike had been saying those things, well, then that means you'll be saying it too. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he just say that if the things that happened this season are true, I wouldn't be friends with Mike anyway? I know he wasn't necessarily relating to the racist part, but you think if Mike has been out here trying to buy a woman and he's also out here be saying racist things, I mean, what's the difference? They're both as bad as each other, right? So yeah, but the fact that he has been Mike's friend confirms that he probably said it himself too, if you dig what I'm saying. But like I said, sometimes some people, when they're in the mood, they speak out of aggression and they don't realize they're just making it worse for themselves. They're digging a hole. They expose themselves even more. And that's exactly what is happening right now. And as we conclude the rest of the comment, ladies and gentlemen, he says, I think that the term should only be used by the demographic that still suffers from the oppression of the word ending in the hard ER, blah-de-da-de-la-de-la-de-la. So now he wants to tell me, he wants to tell every single one of you about who can say the word and who cannot. Based on society, a white person cannot tell a black person how the word should be used based on society, but based on my reality of my own society by myself, because I'm a rebel to society, no one should be using it no matter X, Y, Z anyway. But it is quite fascinating how he legit came out to say, hey, but then again though, the demographic should be saying it. It's like, bro, are you listening to yourself? Like, you do realize that when you type things, you have the ability to read it back and think, should I really send that or not? Clearly, he hasn't got that ability because he typed it and he just put enter. Yeah. Good thing that I screenshotted this last night because Lord knows, it could have been gone by now. Who knows? And the reason why I say these comments could have been gone by now is only because the video that he uploaded yesterday, he has now taken it down. That says a lot, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Because, and I tell you why it says a lot. He talks about how he's not like Mike, he's not pathetic like Mike, but guess what? When him and I broke up with Mike, what did Mike do? He ran away like Forrest. No, let's not bring Forrest Gump into this, man. Forrest Gump is a legend, but he ran away like a chicken. Yeah, chicken run. You know what I mean? Okay, look what's happening here. If he makes a video, he doesn't like what's come of it, and what did he do? He took it down, just like Mike would. There you go, buddy. You wanted me to answer your question about how are you like Mike? You both run. There you go. But nonetheless, though, ladies and gentlemen, this is the only time I'm going to entertain this type of energy from this person. If he does return in the videos or say anything else, it's very unlikely that I will actually make a response, to be honest with you. But this time, it just had to be made because I know there's a lot of people who are still hurt about the fact that Mike had made racist things, and the fact is those racist memes he's made, he has never addressed them, he's only avoided them. And obviously this is me saying to you guys, where it looks to me as if his friend has come out of flat out basically expose him and say, yeah, he be saying it. In fact, we both be saying it, but I'm not really gonna say that I be saying it too. I'm just gonna say that we grew up in an era where people were saying it and most everyone was saying it. And also, he didn't use the hard ER, so he has me saying it, but when he has said it, he's never said it with the ER, okay? He's always said it with the A. Some people, some people. Nonetheless, though, thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and peace.